Welcome to the episode of Bleav in Falcons. I'm your host, Ovie, Mughelli, co-host Michael Turner, and we're here. Season's over. Sorry, preseason's over. Season's over. For the Cowboys, season might be over, but for everybody else, season's still going on.
Right.
I feel like we should do a ZipRecruiter, something, but that's next week. So y'all wait about that. But there are some guys who, unfortunately, Mike. It happened. Black Monday happened. Cut day happened. And it was like a succession of cut days. We saw a little bit on Monday, a little bit on Tuesday, a little bit on the weekend. And this is the moment where a lot of guys are not happy. But some of them got picked up on other teams. Some of them are practice squads. Some of them got other opportunities. But a lot are sitting at home right now and wondering what the heck happened. And I tell young guys all the time that this opportunity and this game, it's not for everybody, but what you need to do is make sure that you do everything you can when you have the opportunity to play at this highest level to show the coaches what you got. Because it's an honor and a privilege to play. And I'm gonna get on my high horse. These young kids these days, they don't get it, Mike. They're out here with the NIL money, and they're out here just. I talked about my old trainer, Baby McClinton. And he was talking about one of the young players who's trying to train, who's in rookie minicamp or in training camp, and he's going out. He's like acting like he already made it. He was like a third, fourth round draft pick. He won't say who he is, but he ended up getting cut. And he was like, "I thought I had it." You can't take this for granted. But congrats to the guys who made it. Congrats to our Falcons, and we have our 53-man squad and practice squad. Right. We have our team. What do you think of who we got?
Obviously, yeah. Congratulations to everybody who made the 53, and congratulations to the guys that's going to be on the practice squad. We're going to need you in the future. Like, just because you're on the practice squad doesn't mean that you're out of the league per se, but you just right there. You still like the next man up, and you might get called for the Falcons, might get called for somewhere to another football team. So you're still in National Football League rotation, man. That's the important part, and you keep the dream alive, keep your career going. Pretty much our story has been boring as far as who's made it on our team. We pretty much had our roster pretty much set. It wasn't any surprising cuts there or surprise pickups. But congratulations to Billy Bowman Jr. Getting the start, and Watts, Xavier Watts making the starting lineup. Two rookies that hasn't been talked about. All the talk about was about Walker and Pierce Jr.
Yep.
Nobody's really talking about Billy Bowman Jr. and Xavier Watts. Now we want Xavier Watts to be our Kyle Hamilton of the Ravens, because they played at Notre Dame together. I think they played at least a year together at Notre Dame, and hopefully he follows his footsteps and become all pro safety for us.
No, that'd be great, and the change in I think attitude about the Falcons and Jeff Ulbrich. I think it's a positive thing, because they had this, I don't know if it was unwritten rule, but they didn't want to play rookies last year. They had rookies who had talent, and they're like, oh, well, wait your turn and let these vets show you the way. And there were some rookies I think were more talented than the vets, and later on in the season we had a chance to see them. But this year they're like, hey, rookie or not, you're going out there. Xavier, Billy, there are veterans that are behind them, but these two young pups are starting. And I think it's great for the long-term future of the Falcons and for what we need to see on our defense. Like at a certain point, you got to get tired of being, the side of the ball that's holding the team back. When I was with the Baltimore Ravens, it was us. It was the offense holding us back, and Ray was the defense looking at us like, oh, come on, man. We held Peyton Manning to 4 field goals, and we still lost the game. Right. It was bad, Mike. And I've seen game after game after game in the Falcons where our defense can't sack the quarterback, can't stop the run, can't, get the turnovers. And the Matt Ryan offenses were, even with Mariota and Bijan, we still had the defense that was holding us back. So at some point, the defense got to say, hey, Xavier's like, I don't know what y'all used to doing, but I'm used to winning. Billy Bowman, I don't know what y'all used to do, but I'm used to winning. Bring that young blood in there that can hopefully get us different culture, different mindset, and get to the ball, cause interceptions, cause turnovers, and get that excitement, that energy that we've been lacking for a little bit, lacking consistently on defense. We had definite flashes last year, but you couldn't say they wouldn't even say that it was consistent dominance on our defense.
No, the numbers speak for itself. We was at the bottom of a lot of categories out there, but it says the strength to this year's draft class that we had. That's to have the confidence to put those guys out there early week one. Our talent, we can't even name who we drafted last year for real. That draft class was kind of a weak draft class as far as defensive talent and things like that. We didn't expect anybody to show up and be instant impact. We drafted Michael Penix at 8. If we like somebody on defense that much, I don't think we would have drafted Michael at 8. So we would have got a impactful defensive player right away, right then and there, because we signed Kirk. So that goes to show you the story of last year, how it unfolded. We really didn't have no confidence. We really didn't feel it was any defense makers out there on the board. To make that call. So this year is totally different. We've been aggressive on in the draft with 2 first-round draft picks going on the defense side of football, and then we get some DBs later on that's going to show up and play for us and play some meaningful football for us. So just a testament to the confidence and Jeff Albert getting his guys ready, listen to him, know what he likes, know what kind of style he wants. And the guys just fitting in right away and making plays. That's more impressive on the rookies. When the rookies come in and taking spots, especially if you drafted late rounds and you come in and taking the starting spot, you're doing something impressive on the practice field.
That's good. That's good. I mean, again, Bleav in Falcons is presented by FanDuel. We're here talking about all the things the Falcons fans want to hear about. And, we got some unique perspective being that we played the game at a high level. Mm-hmm. Mike got a couple of Pro Bowls and All Pros. I got a couple of Pro Bowls and All Pros. Some say we're the best running back duo in Falcons history. By some, I mean everybody. But but we're here to get you guys the information that you need. And frankly, I know when I was growing up, I was a big Cowboys fan. I was a big Emmitt Smith fan. I love the triplets: Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. That Netflix special, Mike, have you seen it?
I started, but I'm gonna get on that because I watched 30 minutes of it and I couldn't watch it all the way. I had something to do. I was like, I'm gonna come back to this. This is good.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I used to live in Texas, and being able to see what was happening behind the scenes with some of your favorite players and hearing, Troy and Mike and Emmitt talk about how everything came together. I enjoyed it. So I was watching with the wife, and she has a football brain and used to work with the Oakland Raiders community relations and did some stuff with players. So we were both just talking football and talking about the business of football, and from watching the Dallas Cowboys and hearing those guys talk about it, the unique perspective, it kind of made me think about our perspective on seeing these young guys and seeing the business of football behind the scenes, and seeing our boy Terry Fontenot, friend of the show, been on the podcast a couple times, see him cook, because you talked about taking chances. You talked about the Penix deal, the Jalen Walker and the Pierce deal, getting Xavier and Billy picks that are actually playing. This is what we need. And Terry worked magic down in New Orleans. So now for him to be working magic with us, because New Orleans was in cap hell for year after year after year, and somehow had decent teams with Drew Brees. But part of that cohesive group was around Drew Brees. And in fact, they had Drew year after year. If Penix can be Terry Fontenot's Drew Brees and be that quarterback that can be above average, because frankly, we don't need him to be Tom Brady. We don't need him to be Peyton Manning. We have enough with our running game, and hopefully with our new defensive pass rush and Jesse Bates holding the back end with Xavier, we have enough stability around our team to where if Penix just doesn't make mistakes, if Penix just is able to keep the ball off the other team's hands, I feel very confident. Again, I'm not going to go all hyperbole. We're going to the Super Bowl. No. I feel very confident that we can be a very good team and that can win the division, because I'm just excited about the fact that we look like we're adults now. We look like we're getting some solid pieces to put in place so we can win the games we're supposed to win.
Yeah, and I think shout out to FanDuel. I think they got us at over under 7.5 wins for -130. So I think from all the talks around the league, I think we should handle that pretty easily. Get to 7.5 wins, 8 wins this year. We've been around that every year for the last 5-6 years. Been to 8-9 probably 8 wins, and I don't think we have 9 wins yet. I don't think we had a winning season.
No, we have not, Michael.
Okay,
I think all the fans, like I'm doing something with Atlantic Station with I think Ray Buchanan. Not this Friday, not tomorrow. The show tomorrow, but next week Friday, and it's supposed to be a couple thousand fans. And I enjoy seeing fans, but also I feel like I have to apologize to them because they've been paying money, and some of the PSLs and the ticket prices that they've been paid to go to Mercedes-Benz Stadium to not have a winning season. You forget, FanDuel, 8+ win. We haven't had a winning season in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, that multi-billion-dollar stadium, since it's been built. Like me and you are getting back-to-back winning seasons in the Georgia Dome. In fact, we were the first team ever to have back-to-back winning seasons, which I was unfathomable when I got here. I was like, wait.
You never won back-to-back.
Y'all ain't never won back-to-back?
Right.
I see Michael Vick out here making people look silly. Yeah. Y'all never won back-to-back?
Right. So it's not easy, man. It's not easy. It's National Football League, man. It's not easy. That's a test to us and what we went through during our years. But now I think it's this new group right here. Now we got all the pieces together. Yeah, and it's it was time for us to show out, man. It's time for us to put this thing together and get on the road, man. And we got a tough schedule this year.
Yep.
But I think if we can start off hot, man, I think we got a chance.
Oh yeah, if we start off hot, we got to get a chance. But it's kind of hard to start out hot, Mike, when none of our starters have played in the preseason, and this will be a ongoing topic. And I hope to goodness that we are wrong, that we fire off the ball. O-line's out there, bruising and bloody, and the defensive line, D-line's out there getting sacks. Receivers are hitting the routes. We're all at the right depths. I hope that I'm wrong, but last year I wasn't wrong. We weren't wrong. Last year, everybody saw that we came out sluggish with not starting or playing Kirk or Mike. Mike was just, I didn't get that at all. I was like, he's going to sit behind Kirk. Why wouldn't you want to get him some reps? But hey, I'm not the coach. I
think he got a couple reps last year, just a couple, like 3-4 plays. but then again, that leads us to the next point. Like, you're trying to play cautious, want to be healthy week 1. But we lose Caleb McGarry in practice. Ooh. So it's not like you can't control everything that's out there on that football field, man. Injuries happen.
Yeah.
It's a part of life, part of the game. And if we can put everybody in bubble wrap and roll them out there week 1, we would. But we know that's not reality. That's not how we get things done. And for people to say, oh, we don't want them to get hurt. I'm like, you see, you get hurt in practice. So it's all about taking care of football, taking your body and taking care of each other and taking care of this football team. But we got some guys that are going to need to step up. We, Storm Norton, his backup is hurt too. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks.
IR.
He's on IR, so he's eligible to come back. I think after like 8 weeks or so. So he's like one of the shorter IRs. But that leads to open competition. It's a starting job out there at right tackle for us, and that guys need to step up and not only play for this team, but get some good film for maybe another team pick you up after this season, man. This is an opportunity. This is a golden opportunity for somebody to go out there and step up and play some real good football for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, we got a guy named Michael Jarrell in a trade to get our depth there, but it's it makes me a little bit uneasy about protecting Michael Penix, because in the preseason games, and I know it's preseason, but still, if it's preseason, you should be able to hold your own, because the number 2 line, I don't know if they were going against the ones, and sometimes that happens with the 2s of a team gets against the ones, you get dominated, but they didn't look good in a couple of the preseason games.
Right, a lot of penalties, a lot
of false starts, a lot of holding. It was just they weren't crisp. You can't get them. Well, I guess you can because they're professionals, but maybe these guys have not practiced together as much as they would like in order to go to a game, because the O-line has to have a real cohesive nature about them, because they're doubling up to the safety and to the linebacker, and they're supposed to be able to understand the footsteps and the starting O-line. The reason those guys go out to eat together, go out to drink together, hang out together, go to the pool, because just that ability to know what the other guy's thinking and the ability to have that trust that your boy's gonna have your back. It's so important, not just fullback, tailback, what we did, but the offensive line. Those guys were a tight-knit group. Again, that's why it hurts with Caleb McGarry going down, because you have a guy stepping up that hasn't had as many reps as Caleb's had with the O-line, because he's been a backup. So I really hope that it doesn't affect our offense. I hope it doesn't affect Michael Penix, because he needs to stay healthy. I hope it doesn't affect Bijan. I think one of the another FanDuel number is 10 plus rushing touchdowns for the season. I think its numbers are negative 135, but you put in $135, you'll get $100. But I think that's a solid bet, because it's 10 touchdowns. It's Bijan Robinson.
Right.
This guy's getting better.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, he had 15 total touchdowns last year, and hopefully he can get 10 rushing this year. And with us protecting Michael Penix, and maybe we'll run the football a little bit more. Maybe get even more touches than last year. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how this offense is supposed to be high powered, man. But we losing our right tackle. I'm not going to say that's a big blow to us. We're not going to sweep that under the rug. Like that's like the Chargers losing Slater. That's a big blow. And you know what? They both got hurt right after they signed their deal.
Interesting. Oh, I'm hurt. I'm thinking I can't do anything.
No, I'm just saying. That just popped in my head like, dang, they right after. You talk about timing, boy. Oh my goodness. But hopefully, both guys, all the guys out there that's hurt, that's been hurt in this preseason. Hopefully, it's not been a lot of big names this preseason, even though it's a lot of starters played around the league. But pretty much every team is pretty much healthy going into the season. And hope we want to be one of those teams, but we got our right tackle gone. And I hope the other guys step up, because we had the whole unit as a whole was great,
strong.
Hopefully, just missing one person doesn't set us back that much.
Yeah, speaking about missing one person, there are some trade rumors about one person potentially leaving. Our tight end Kyle Pitts, and there were a lot of buzz around Kyle, then it kind of disappeared. Oh, he's gonna be here. Then some buzz and disappear. Now there's some buzz again. The trade whispers are saying that his contract's expiring, and with some new negotiations, Atlanta might move him before the season's end. So nothing. I mean, anything's possible. Chargers, Ravens are some of the teams that are being talked about, and a trade would be interesting, because I would love to know what we're looking for, whether picks or if it's actual individual.
I'm not interested in trading Kyle Pitts, because that means he's not doing good. So if that's the only reason why we'll trade him. And that means
I thought we would trade him if he did good, because he'd be a high value, because we had
not mid-season. Why would you wait? Why would you try to trade him mid-season? What would it? That's the rumors that try to break up the locker room. Man. We don't need that.
We're dropping that.
We don't need.
Let's drop a rumor.
We had all offseason to talk about trading Kyle Pitts. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys made a big splash with trading Micah Parsons. Kyle Pitts won't be a splash like that to make headlines like that. But we just don't need those rumors right now floating around. We got too much on our plate. We're trying to get a winning football season here, and I think he's going to be a big part of it.
Yeah, that Micah Parsons situation, Mike, that's crazy. I'm so thankful that our owner Arthur Blank isn't the hot mess that Jerry Jones is, because it's like at a certain point, Jerry don't care. And as you watch this the Netflix documentary, you realize how much money Jerry's making. And actually, all the owners, they can lose every single game and still win. Like them losing. Doesn't matter at all. Like they win whether they lose, win, draw, whatever. And if I was a Cowboys fan, I'd be upset, because it seems like Jerry is more concerned about his ego than concerned about keeping his players happy and making sure that he puts a winning product on the field. Because these poor Cowboys fans, like it's a running gag now. It's a joke. Like I'm talking about we're eliminated for the season. Like, Cowboys eliminated from the playoffs. Like already, people are saying for game one, Cowboys eliminated.
Right. We'll see. I mean, it's an ugly situation. There's it butted heads. High profile players, Michael Parsons is button heads with Jerry Jones and vice versa or whatever. And I don't know who's at fault. I really don't care, because they're not Falcons, so that's not our problem. And we don't play the Cowboys or the Packers this year. So hopefully, maybe we'll run into one of them in the playoffs. Most likely Packers. If we want to say who's more likely to make the playoffs, Packers and Cowboys, you will say today you will say the Packers, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe Dallas might shock some people, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. What I do know is that it's time for some football, man. I can't say how excited I am to start tailgating, to start being out there with the fans. Like
Yeah.
the energy, winning's gonna do a whole lot to help the the Mercedes-Benz Stadium be rocking. Because like we've mentioned, it's a great thing that we have so many bells and whistles in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but with the absence of a winning football team, people get more concerned about networking and catching up and grabbing food and
the price of beer, the price of
the party, and we want them to party, but party because of what's happening on the field.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this season because it's a new chance. The slate is clean. We're all undefeated. We're undefeated, and we're going to be undefeated after game one. That's the goal. But right now we're undefeated. Fans are excited. They're happy. I've apologized to them for what's happened in the past because they have been frustrated. But I'm like, hey, wipe that away. This might hurt. Might tickle a little.
I'm just tired of saying it. I'm tired of saying this year in and year out, man. At one time, we're gonna be looking like Cowboys fans. Saying this is our year.
Yeah, here comes the Falcons.
This is our year. This is our year. No, I'm tired of right now we got too much talent in this team not to be having to win the season. And I want to put pressure on Coach Raheem, or anything like that.
You ain't got to put pressure on him. The pressure's on him. There have been some people that said, hey, if it doesn't happen this year, he's out. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that's
Arthur Blank has kept he kept Arthur Smith a year or two too long. He kept Mike Smith a year. Well, I didn't mind Mike. That's my boy. But he kept a couple of these people too long. And I feel like with Raheem and all that he has, he'll give him another year. It depends on how bad this year is. If it goes bad, I don't think it will go. But people say he might be on the hot seat. I don't think, if they know our owner, that if he does another 8-8 mediocre season, or 8-7, 7-8, people will be upset. But he's gonna have one more year.
I can't have another mediocre season, man.
I can't do it.
Not with this talent, man. I want to see some explosive plays up there. I want to see some fire, some energy, some heart. I want not us laying down. We kind of laid down. Remember, we laid down in the Carolina game last year.
That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. We could have made the playoffs with a horrible, a subpar season. We still had a chance to make the playoffs.
Right.
And it was just like, I literally had to apologize to every fan I saw when they was like, Ovie, what is that? What is going? The product on the field was embarrassing.
Right.
As a former Falcon, to say that's the best we can do, it was bad because it wasn't the best we can do. But guess what? The slate is wiped clean. These guys have been waiting for a chance to kind of just erase that horrible end to the season. It's different if you go down fighting and you gave your all, and all right, you go to the season, all right, we gave our all. They did not give their all. So it's a great point you mentioned. The season ended on a bad note. But now we get to change the narrative. We get to reintroduce ourselves to the world and let people know what Falcons football really looks like. So it's their chance, man. It's coming up, and they got a week to prepare. And
on the Tampa, we got to take this division back from Tampa, man. They've been running this division like I don't know, like they got a couple of couple of superstars of themselves over there on that team. Like they haven't been that good of a team to be winning the division year in and
time after time.
I can see to get one or two, but not like 4 in a row. No. We need to get back. We need to get back to business. Falcons getting back on top of this division, man.
I love it. All right, well, we'll wrap up, and you guys definitely comment. Let us know what you want to hear about the season. We're thinking about some segments to add to our wonderful podcast. So if you have a segment you want, like Mike's Misfits, Ovie's the top plays, around the league. Like, you got some crazy ideas, let us know. We want to
we give credit. We give you a shout out too.
Yeah, here's a little shout out. So definitely give us some ideas, some feedback, and let us know what y'all think. But it's gonna be one heck of a season. So let's go.
Bleav in Falcons
all day. And